Today we are going to discuss how to write a well-developed analytical paragraph. Think of a paragraph like a hamburger. Every section of it is important. The first step in writing a well-developed paragraph is to understand your writing task. Please watch the short video on the next slide to help you in annotating your prompt.
When you are first given a prompt such as this one, knowing where to begin can be quite intimidating. What does your instructor really want from you? What choices do you have, if any? How can you be sure you are writing the paper as expected? Annotating a prompt can help you break it down into its most basic elements. This video will show you how to do just that. First, begin by circling all of the action verbs. In this prompt, you can see that the writer is to demonstrate, utilize, and identify. But what? That's the next step. Underline all major nouns in the prompt that answer how you are to perform those action verbs. In this example, you can see that you are to demonstrate an understanding through a creative poem or short story, and utilize and identify literary techniques including an allusion. That's a great start, but there are still details embedded in this prompt that we need to identify. Next, look for nouns and adjectives that describe the details of the task. Draw arrows from the original nouns to their descriptors. In this case, you are demonstrating your understanding of magical realism using 5 literary techniques and 1 allusion related to magical realism. Once you have annotated your prompt, it's important that you put it all together by rewriting the prompt in your own words. This will help you determine whether or not you really understand the parameters of the assignment. Analyzing and annotating your prompt is a critical step in the writing process and must carefully be considered before selecting a topic so that you can ensure your choice will fulfill the assignment expectations.
Once you annotate your prompt, you'll need to do a little bit of organization and brainstorming. The first thing that you want to do is decide what is your stance on the prompt. In other words, how will you answer the question? You also need to think about what specific examples you will use to support your idea. You also need to consider how you will explain the importance of your examples and how you will wrap your paragraph up. Let's see how this works. We're going to consider a paragraph just like a hamburger. All the parts of the hamburger are really important, just like all the parts of a paragraph. The first step that you want to do in writing your paragraph is to come up with a topic sentence. A topic sentence is the first sentence of your paragraph which conveys the main idea. Usually this should be a mildly controversial statement. In other words, it's something that you have to prove. This would be the top bun of the burger. If you were writing a paragraph about the 3 little pigs, your topic sentence might be something like, "The third little pig in the fairy tale, The 3 Little Pigs, demonstrates ingenuity and intelligence beyond that of his brothers." This is the placement of a topic sentence in a full paragraph. The next step in writing a well-developed paragraph is using text-based evidence. Your teachers may refer to this as direct quotes, concrete details, or text evidence. Text-based evidence is the meat in your hamburger. It's important, and it supports your topic sentence. This will be a fact, a quote, or a direct example from your text. A piece of text-based evidence cannot be argued with. In other words, it is hard evidence. Going back to our topic of the 3 little pigs, an example of a piece of text-based evidence would be, for example, remembering his mother's warning about the wolf, the third pig builds his house out of sturdy brick. In a full paragraph, your text-based evidence will come directly after your topic sentence. Remember, you must introduce your quote or your example. Who likes a burger without any of the good stuff on it? The good stuff is considered your analysis or explanation. This is the extras on the hamburger, like cheese or bacon or tomato, all the things that make it delicious. Your analysis or interpretation is explanation or insight into how the text reference proves your claim in your topic sentence. Your analysis and explanation should be at least 2 sentences for each single sentence of text-based evidence that you have. For example, although using brick instead of hay or sticks is much more labor-intensive, the third pig is willing to put in the time and effort to ensure his safety. Additionally, he demonstrates his intelligence by adhering to his mother's advice because mothers know best. Notice there are 2 sentences of analysis. In a full paragraph, your analysis or explanation sentences would look like this. The last step in writing a well-developed paragraph is finishing up with your concluding sentence. A concluding sentence is the bottom bun of the burger. A concluding sentence should wrap up your paragraph. It should add 1 or 2 new elements of information, or perhaps a call to action if you are writing a persuasive piece. It also rephrases the main idea so that the reader comes back full circle to where your paragraph began. For example, to conclude, the third pig outsmarts not only his brothers, but the big bad wolf as well. Remember to add a transition into your conclusion. Once you have done that, you have successfully completed a one-chunk paragraph. A one-chunk paragraph is a combination of 1 text-based evidence and at least 2 sentences of analysis and explanation. A one-chunk body paragraph will include your topic sentence, which states your claim or opinion, 1 piece of text-based evidence with an introduction. It will include 2 analysis or explanation sentences. Remember, these need transitions, and a concluding sentence that sums up your whole paragraph. Putting it all together. The third little pig in the fairy tale, The Three Little Pigs, demonstrates ingenuity and intelligence beyond that of his brothers. For example, remembering his mother's warning about the wolf, he built his house out of sturdy brick. Although using brick instead of hay or sticks is much more labor-intensive, the third pig is willing to put in the time and effort to ensure his safety. Additionally, he demonstrates his intelligence by adhering to his mother's advice because mothers know best. To conclude, the third pig not only outsmarts his brothers, but the big bad wolf, demonstrating his problem-solving skills. Let's face it though, a 5-sentence paragraph isn't going to get you very far in your English class. Let's add some more chunks. If your teacher asks you to use 2 pieces of text-based evidence, you will just simply start with your topic sentence, add your text-based evidence, add your 2 analysis or explanation sentences, then add a transition between your ideas. You'll see some sample transition words on the next slide. You'll add another text-based evidence, 2 more analysis and explanations, and then a concluding sentence. Think of this as a double patty. But what if your teacher wants you to use 3 pieces of text-based evidence? Well, of course, we're going triple-decker here. You do the exact same thing but add in 1 extra chunk. As I mentioned before, a strong, well-developed paragraph will need to include transition words in between the chunks. These are words or phrases that help the readers connect your ideas. Some basic sample transition words are listed below. That concludes our tutorial on writing a well-developed paragraph. Now it's your turn to try.